I'm JV. At 20, I pressed pause on uni to chase two dreams: backpacking the world alone and completing one of the toughest endurance races in the world, an Ironman. I wanted to discover if there was more to life than the path simply laid out in front of me. So welcome to my 8-part series of one of the best years of my life. In the last episode, I met locals at Munich and Paris. I travelled around Switzerland with Emily Martin, and it was here how much I realised I love video making and documenting life. I then went to Nice to watch the World Championships in the Ironman and travelled with my friend Gatto. Then I met Marco, a bloke that tried to scam me in Italy. And finally, I went with the mate I met in Romania to the Dolomites. And now, that leaves me here, in the last few weeks of my time in Europe. I finished off my time in Europe quite chill, taking it easy in Innsbruck. Then I went to Germany. I started in Stuttgart. Then I went to Berlin, where I stayed with Christopher. Museum. How does this work? Then to Frankfurt, to Heidelberg, and to Cochin. I went to Amsterdam. It was different to other parts of Europe. Everyone's on bikes and it felt like such a young, lively city. What's up? Watching the Ironman video. Start getting into fitness, you know what I'm saying? That's right. I met some of the most amazing people. In London, I got to stay with some aunties. London reminded me of home. It was nice to feel familiarity because you don't realise how much you miss something until you don't have it. I got to explore around London. And then went to catch up with Sonny and Phil in an English pub. The end of Europe. Wow, 3 and a bit months passed.
While for laptop time.
Going to Turkey was a change in environment that made things feel much more refreshing. A new country completely different to the culture of Europe. I spent 3.5 weeks in Turkey, where for the first few days, I got to travel with Alexandra. We took the ferry, got to get some food, and explored around the mosques. Similar to Morocco, Turkey had cats roaming around everywhere.
Bro, what a G, mate. How are you, bro? You're tired, man.
I spent 2 weeks doing a group tour in Turkey with Liam Harrington and Claire. We had some amazing company. It was so refreshing to see people I knew as well as be with the same people for a longer period of time, rather than quick fleeting moments you would normally experience while solo travelling.
We're in Turkey.
After a while of solo travel, group travel is more about sharing experiences with others, creating memories together.
Look at that.
And having a mix of both was really refreshing. I met this guy Paddy Handler,
What are you doing?
and on the first day, he was my room buddy. And I just said to him, I love you. And he said, oh, here we go. I think that as a guy, getting really comfy with your homies is one of the most manliest things possible. And Paddy Handler and I, we were all about it, baby.
This is gay.
It was me, Limo, and Paddy Handler, and us being the only 3 boys and 12 other girls. Paddy describing the trip as Turkey with the boys. You know he is the ultimate bro.
Nahir. How are you, Nahir?
Our guide was Nahir.
Just don't jump off the iron.
He is a G. He wouldn't tell us about the history behind a new town we explored. Half the time, I didn't even know where we were going. He would just show you where the bars and where the ATMs were while smoking a pack of ciggies. When we went hiking in the ghost town one time, Paddy asked him how the rocks were formed and in such a way. And he just said, ask God. And on the last night, he took us to a Turkish bar far out of town so he could meet up with the Sheila he'd been chatting to.
This is my boy, Nahir. God bless you, my boy.
Nahir, what a legend. I met Muz and the WA girls, Liv and Leash. I took them for their first ever 5k run. And the rest of Turkey was pretty crazy. Went Pamukkale, went rafting, went on a sail day. and celebrated Lima's 24th birthday.
Ships, the skull ships, the best ships of all. Fresh ships.
And then we went to Cappadocia, which was absolutely beautiful. Limo, Patty and I, we had our first Turkish barber experience. And then we wrapped things up with an unreal Turkish night. That place was beautiful. Unforgettable memories with the Turkey crew, an experience that Limo and I will always look back upon. Paddy Handler, never change.
It's just the nights out with the boys. That's what we cherish.
Nahir, keep shagging, my brother. Out of the 25 countries I've been to in this trip, if there's one country I would go back to again, it's India. The food, the culture, the people. Initially, all I thought about India was this. That's all I was aware of from the media. But when I went there, it was like a movie. This is Saif. We used to work together at the pool. Saif loves a bit of adventure. When I told him about my trip, he said I have to go to India and people he knew would take me around. And at first I was hesitant, but then I thought, why not? As I made my way to Goa, I felt so out of place. It's quite popular with tourists, especially white people with dreadlocks that walk barefoot in the street.
My boy, yeah. What a ledge.
I met the brothers Yash and Shri at the hostel. Went touring around Goa with the boys.
Are you enjoying the...
It's very nice.
And I got on the overnight train. And it was nothing fancy or comfortable, but got the job done.
This is the overnight train. Wow. This is crazy, the overnight train.
And I made it to Kerala. They call this state in India God's own country. And they're really not wrong about that. I made my way to Saif's home, and holy crap, mate, it was a bloody palace.
Wow. This is Safe's home. Secret life of Safe.
And I met Salahu. Saif used to be Salahu's kayaking instructor.
I'm with my boy, Salahu.
Salahu took me around.
Salahu's old school.
We met his uni mates,
University.
joined in on wedding photos, played a bit of soccer with random people, learnt to play pool,
And it's also mine as well.
and met more of Salahu's mates. Unreal.
Look at this thing.
Being on a motorbike, seeing all these places with Salahu, it was like I was living a real life movie. Transporting place to place was always scary in India. The rest of India went by so quickly. I spent 3 days in this place. I went for a run.
Legend.
I met Ashish at the hostel, explored around the town.
Maggie noodle.
I then went to Alleppey and experienced the backwaters. I lost half my tooth as well eating some fish.
Eating and I tooth it broke.
I then headed to Kochi, the capital city of Kerala, and explored around the waters there. As my time wraps up in India, I learned a lot about India I never knew. There's many different languages in India. Most states have their own language, where sometimes the only language people can communicate to each other is in English. They have a saying that guest is God, and I really felt that way. Everyone was so hospitable, and I'll never forget this feeling, and the kindness of the people will always stay with me. In every hostel I went to in India, it was mostly Indians travelling around India, and the people were so open and welcoming. They'll pull up a seat and chat to me and have a genuine conversation. It was so refreshing. The biggest thing that shocked me was that for most of the younger generation I got to meet, they told me that they didn't see a future in India. There are far too many people for the amount of jobs available. At a dinner with a guy named Harsh, he shared how moving to America to study was one of the most scariest decisions he'd ever made, leaving everything behind to forge a new life in a foreign country. Despite being one of the kindest blokes I've ever met, he often felt like he wasn't fully accepted as an international student. That conversation really shifted the way I think about overseas students. It made me realise the courage it takes to start over in another country, and how lucky we are to see the place we are born as home without ever really questioning it. Month 6 looked a lot more special than most.